Hello world, Dorothy Dottie or Dot. My name comes with options, and I am a homeless caregiver. How I got to be that, I'm sharing my story. So today is chapter 12. Chapter 12. So finished up um, her fifth episode. So her fifth episode, after I had gotten her. After I had gotten her back from her fifth episode, I did, like in the last chapter I mentioned, I had gotten a job at an assisted living facility while my mom was still in the hospital during her fifth episode. So I had that just in time, so when she got out, I had ways of taking care of her and being able to work and pay bills at the same time. So because at this point I needed the inheritance money that that we had gotten from my grandmother's passing, it was running out. So I needed to get a job again, and of course couldn't do that with taking care of mom, especially with her episodes happening. Wasn't able to do it at that time. But since that fifth episode, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to take care of mom again because she didn't want me anymore. Like I said, the friend advised that I get a job at a nursing home of some kind, and I did. And that ended up working out for a good while. I got the job in April around Easter time. And when mom came home after maybe a week or a couple of days of having the job, I was able to get her back home, and she was better. She had a better attitude when she got out of the hospital. It just took staying there a little longer for her to, snap out of it, basically, and start liking me again. So, she was better after she got out. She started liking me again and wasn't hating me, at the moment. So, and this went on with, this time it seemed to, be a little bit better this fifth time around, but not for too long. So, but it was middle of April, and so we got through May, we got through June, we got through July, and it was towards the end of July, beginning of August, that my mom started, I guess, relapsing, but getting back to that same attitude, same problems again. But it was strange, but it seemed, it was a little bit different this time. She started hearing, like I mentioned in her previous episodes, she was hearing stuff that wasn't there. She was basically having a lot of auditory hallucinations. She was starting to have those auditory hallucinations again. Late July, early August, she was starting to get that again, but she seemed to be a little bit more aware of it this time. It seemed that this time she recognized that these voices weren't good, because these voices were telling her to kill me again. Like, straight up, they were telling her to like kill me again, basically. Now, this is the sixth time. This is our sixth episode, and it was an official episode because I didn't know what to do at this point. Again, well, I knew what I should have done. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to Baker Act her again. I didn't want her going in the hospital for the sixth time. That's ridiculous. But I called my boss, the owner of the assisted living facility that I was working at, and I had him on speakerphone. I had him hearing what she was saying, and he said, "No, Dottie, you gotta call that in. That's not safe for you." I was like, "I know, it's just so hard." And he's like, "Do you want me to call for you? I can call for you." And I went ahead and let him on my behalf. I gave him permission to call the police on my behalf to have them come out and take her. But for some reason, when the police showed up, she wasn't acting like she was definitely doing it again, but I guess not so much that this officer did not find the grounds to Baker Act her. He didn't think he needed to. He said, well, if she's willing to go, then you can take her there yourself. She was willing this time to go because she recognized that she needed to go. Like, she was actually a willing participant to go. Even though, like she threatened me, like she was saying that the voices were telling her to kill me. But I guess that wasn't enough for this officer to actually take her himself, like, for me. I had to drive her all the way up to the only mental hospital that's close by to me, the one that she had been going to these past 5 times, the same one. I take her up there, and it's night at this point. I take her up there, and they turn me away. They turned me away. They said that they didn't have room for her or whatever else. And the receptionists were rude as ever. Just basically no help at all. Pushed me away, not taking us in. So I ended up driving all the way, like 40 minutes to the hospital and 40 minutes back because they wouldn't take her this time. So the next morning, so we wait out the night, and the next morning, she's still doing it. She's not doing well, and she's still hearing the voices telling her to kill me. So I, at this point, had no other choice but to take her to a regular hospital. I took her to the regular hospital that was on where we lived, and they Baker acted her for me. I had to explain to them, listen, I need help. She's okay, but she has a brain injury. She was hit by a car, and she's threatening to kill me. I've already tried getting her Baker acted, but they won't take her for me. And this hospital finally said, okay, we'll Baker act her for you. And so I was able to leave her there, and they were supposed to take her to the hospital for me. Well, it turns out that the hospital that she had been going to, I guess, really was that full. Didn't have to be so rude about it, though. But still, so she didn't end up going to that one. She ended up staying at the regular hospital for at least a day or two. And then finally, they had room, but she didn't go to where she was. She finally went to a good hospital. So the mental health hospital she had been at 5 times already, she didn't go there. She went to Orlando. She went to Orlando Hospital, that one that's there. And there is when we finally got to the correct help that we actually needed. So we do live in Florida, and where we are, there's not a lot of good hospitals and things. If you want a good hospital, you have to go all the way to Orlando. That's where all the good stuff is. So, but finally, the 6th and so far final time, Mom went to Orlando Hospital, and she was there for the time that she definitely needed to be there. They put her on a mental health medication, and this is the mental health medication that she still is on and currently taking. And it has worked. This 6th time of her finally going to Orlando, we finally got the answers that we needed. So Mom she was on it. She was prescribed that mental health medication. When I went to Orlando to pick her up, the doctor there talked to me and actually talked to me. Wow, what a concept. But they actually talked to me, went through the rundown of what her new medicine is and everything, and they did it right. Orlando finally actually did it right, and I was able to take Mom home, and Mom was this time finally 100% compliant about everything. She said, I'm sorry, Dottie. I realize now that everything that happened was wrong, and I'm sorry. I will take my medicine, and I will be compliant about everything. I don't want to do any of that again. And she has been so much better ever since that 6th time at going to Orlando. So that's chapter 12. And I'll let you guys know what happens after that. See you next time.